Hi guys, me Mini Stacks. Today's video is another video in Bloxburg. It will be part 3. So for this, it's gonna be just lights, the starting of the interior, such as the lights and the mirrors, the working room, basically stuff on the first, yeah, actually it's gonna be just for everything on the first and bottom floor. You see,
consciously decided he was willing to take huge risks to provoke a public debate. And provoke a public debate that
and of course, we all see things. And I was just saying, hi kitten. In a few minutes, hours, what? I'm just saying it right now.
Where we are now is a place where we're living behind wall. Corporate America and law enforcement and the national security state know so much about us. We know so little about them.
Okay, so as you saw in the last video, I just had got my...
And we can't actually hold our government accountable because we truly don't know what to do.
I feel like I'm getting yeah, you probably are, because no one asked. Yeah. So, I'm gonna start with... I don't know. I'm gonna start with the dining room. Don't know why, just want to start with the dining room.
The United States of Secrets is available on DVD. To order, visit shoppbs.org or call 1-800-PLAY-PBS. Frontline is also available for download on iTunes.
For this, I'm gonna go for... Yeah, I'm gonna go for 2 tables.
The politics of artificial intelligence. It'll be a Chinese tech sector. It'll be an American tech sector. The new tech war. The more data, the better the AI works. So in the age of AI, where data is the oil, China is the South. The future of work.
AI is actually really important, guys. Super important. It really is. No sarcasm included. No, I'm not being sarcastic. I'm being for real, dude. And Ray was being dumb by sleeping and not answering me when I said da. And you might be asking, when was that? Let's see. I think it's when your mom died. Yeah. Just and then I did all that editing.
This is the world's most complex board game.
For everything.
There are more possible moves
Same.
than there are
I
animals.
did for one just F me. I'm a bit. I'm gonna go get lost in the den of church. Private. Just I'm gonna get lost in the bin of trash. So for table, where is it? Coffee table. Bruh. Seriously, a coffee table. Dining table. Hey.
In countries where it's very popular, like China and Japan and South Korea, the game Go is not just a game, right? It's like how you learn strategy. It has an almost spiritual component. You know, if you talk to South Korea,
Geometric dining table.
is a national hero in South Korea. They were sure that Lissadol would
Transitional, a luxurious table. Yeah, of course, luxurious. But I'm not spending $1,000 just on a stupid dining table when I could spend literally like 0.3 times less money. Almost half, and 0.4 times money on this than that. Like, that's a saver, dude. And it looks somewhat better, in my opinion. Yeah, guess,
This was the public unveiling of a form of artificial intelligence
it looks horrible.
that mimics the neural networks
Probably
of the
because
human brain.
it's concrete.
So what happens with machine learning
And carpets.
initially, the machine is fed all kinds of data. And then it learns from that. It figures out its own moves. Because it's an AI system, it's not just following instructions, it's figuring out its own instructions. It comes up with moves that haven't thought of. So it studies games that humans play, it knows the rules, and then it comes up with creative moves. That's a very surprising move. I don't understand. Game 2, move 37. That move 37 was the move that humans could not fathom, but yet it is a move brilliant and woke people up to say, wow, after thousands of years of playing, we never thought about it. Oh, the design. It looks like it's just designed. In the end, the scientists watched their algorithms win 4 of the games. Lissadol took 1. What happened with Go, first and foremost, was a huge victory for DeepMind and for AI, right? It wasn't that the computers beat the humans. It was that, one type of intelligence beat another. Artificial intelligence had proven it could marshal a vast amount of data beyond anything any human could handle, and use it to teach itself how to predict an outcome. The commercial implications were enormous. While AlphaGo is a game, but its success and its waking everyone up, I think, is going to be remembered.
Oh my goodness.
Where AI
Whiskers is freaking hogging the cord.
ushering in a new age of great potential and prosperity. But an age that will also deepen inequality, challenge democracy,
What even?
plunge the world into two AI superpowers.
Okay, so I mean it's Ross, like it doesn't mean I can't change.
About how artificial intelligence is changing the world. China has decided to chase the AI future. A future made and embraced.
That doesn't look too bad. Oh no, seeing the chair.
Also, the obvious fact of the demographics are mostly very younger people. So that this clearly is technology which is being generated by a whole new generation.
Paul Shell is one of America's foremost China scholars.
That doesn't look too
First
bad.
came here 45 years ago.
When I first came here in 1975, the chairman Mao was still alive. The Cultural Revolution was coming on. And there wasn't a single whiff of anything of what you see here. It was unimaginable. In fact, in those years,
Just about to jump on that catching. No jumping around. Jumper. Humper wumper. Bro, do you really think I'm gonna let you go?
Extraordinary progress.
Let my people go! Nope. Nope, you ain't going anywhere, bro. Don't even think about it either. Because if you do, you know what? Bam! I'm just kidding, dude. Like, jeez.
In
Bro.
2017, Xi Jinping announced the government's bold new plans to an audience of foreign diplomats. China would catch up with the U.S. in artificial intelligence by 2020 and lead the world by 2030. China leads the world in e-commerce.
The kind of fan I have in real life in my living room. This the same kind of life thing.
Short 2.5 years, China's AI implementation really went from minimal to probably about 17 or 18 unicorns. That is billion-dollar companies in AI today. That progress is hard to believe.
The progress was powered by a new generation of ambitious young techs born out of Chinese universities.
And then you just lay down and watch your YouTube.
What did I do wrong?
No, it's a good thing. I'm just saying what you're doing. You got a problem with it? Yeah, no, I do the same thing, though. You're acting like as if I don't do that. Or are you? Dun dun dun.
Michael Lee was born in Taiwan. His parents sent him to high school in Tennessee. His PhD thesis at Carnegie Mellon was on computer speech recognition, which don't do well.
Well, reality is that quite not a science fiction with Apple computers and developed programming.
But at 31, an early measure of fame.
Because the leading inventor of Apple's speech recognition technology, so how did this one right through?
You have every right to remain silent.
Microsoft Research innovation in Beijing and began looking for promising startups and AI talent.
So the Chinese entrepreneurial company started as copycats, but over the last 15 years, China has developed
I'm
its
gonna
own
go
form
for
of entrepreneurship, and that entrepreneurship is described as
doesn't look
tenacious,
too bad.
very fast, winner take all, and incredible work ethic. I would say these few thousand Chinese top entrepreneurs, they could take on any entrepreneur anywhere in the world.
Entrepreneurs like Zhao Shudong, the 33-year-old CEO of a new startup called Momentum. This is a ring road around Beijing.
Whiskers, no.
The car is driving itself.
If there's a ghost in there, I'm not letting you in there, bro. I'm gonna stay right there. See my cat. She's your sister. No. Dad. Why is the cat doing that? No.
Recently, there have been
That's
comments about how
strange.
soon autonomous vehicles will be deployed.
Sandy!
Companies team are confident they're in for the long haul.
Sandy, are you there?
US will be the first to deploy, but China may be the first to operate. It's 50-50 right now. US is ahead in technology,
Okay, I'm
China's along the market,
sorry.
and the Chinese government is helping with infrastructure efforts. For example, building a new city the size of Chicago with autonomous driving.
Didn't realize that until you said stop.
That has sensors built in to help
That's when I realized what you meant by stop.
Their early investors
Yes.
included Mercedes-Benz.
Because our national.
they're very likely R.I.P.
Life in China is largely conducted on smartphones. 1 billion people use WeChat, the equivalent of Facebook, Messenger, and PayPal, and much more combined into just one super app. And there are many more.
China is the best place for AI application today because the vast amount of data that's available in China. China has a lot more users than any other country, 3 to 4 times more than the US. There are 50 times more mobile payments than the US.
Guys, please don't ask why I'm carpeting
Service data to
this
learn more
room.
about
Only because I like carpeting
300
room.
times more shared bicycle rides. And each shared bicycle ride has all kinds of sensors submitting data up to the cloud. We're talking about maybe 10 times more data than the US. And AI is basically run on data and fueled by data. The more data, the better the AI works. More importantly than how brilliant the researcher is working on the problem. So in the age of AI, where data is the new oil, China is
Okay,
And access to all that data means that the
no whiskers. Don't worry. You'll be by your side. Someone comes here, so I protect you guys. I swear, but close. Never know fucking. I'm protecting you. You're my favorite. The tornado comes. I take you. And then run. Oh, I'm gonna get attacked too. Pull my tablet off the charger and freaking swing you in my hand and run. I mean, that takes me like 3.2 seconds. So just take those two, you and my tablet, and freaking run like the wind. once you just play, like when my tablet turns on, it immediately starts. Like I plug it in, and then it just immediately turns on. It doesn't need, oh, please wait several minutes before turning it on. Like you can literally take this tablet. As soon as you plug it in, it's like 30 seconds, and then after that, it loads up, which takes just like 10-15 seconds, and that's like 45 seconds total, and then it's on, and then you just play while it's charging, and it charges so fast. It's one of those really good tablets. So like, yeah, I got some like this. No flexing. Sorry, on my tablet. Better not. Bruh. I break it. Bruh. Bro, once it's charging on the charger, just play it and let it charge as you're playing. Unless you got one of those horrible, stupid, poor tablets. They're like Nokia Bulgur. Nokia sucks to death. Dude, if you guys got a Nokia, you need to get it better. You need to have your parents, or if you're adult yourself, like, go get, however you do, like, go get a new phone, dude.
Have been building a national database from dozens of experimental social credit programs. The government wants to integrate all these individual behaviors or corporations, into some kind of a matrix.
Sorry,
And
I'm scared.
a single number or set of numbers associated with a individual citizen, and using that to implement a incentive or punishment system. A high social credit number can be rewarded with discounts on bus fares. A low number can lead to a travel ban. Some say it's very popular with the Chinese public that wants to punish bad behavior. Others see a future that rewards party loyalty and silences criticism. Right now, there's no final system being implemented. And from those experiments, we already see the possibilities of what this sort of system can do. It's very powerful, and it's extremely troublesome in terms of civil liberty. Every evening in Shanghai, ever-present cameras record the crowds as they surge down to the fun. The promenade along the banks of the Huangpu River. Once the great trading houses of Europe came here to do business with the Middle Kingdom. In the last century, they were all shut down by Mao's revolution. But now, in the age of AI, people come here to take in a spectacle that reflects China's remarkable progress. It illuminates the great political paradox of capitalism taking root in the communist state.
People have called it market Leninism, authoritarian capitalism. We're watching a kind of a petri dish in which an experiment of extraordinary.
Yeah, this is gonna be the door entrance.
And get something that's more powerful, it's coherent, it's durable in the world. Whether you can bring together a one-party state with an innovative sector, both economically and technologically innovative, and that's something we thought could not coexist.
As China reinvents itself, it has set its sights on leading the world in artificial intelligence by 2030. That means taking on the world's most innovative AI. an interstate in the U.S. Southwest, artificial intelligence is at work solving the problem that's become emblematic of the new age, replacing a human driver.
That's cursed.
This is the company's CEO, 24-year-old.
That's even more cursed. Okay, AI is absolutely cursed. That's literally cursed. That's cursed, dude. Like, a truck drives itself. Okay, now that's freaking okay.
There is a driver in the cabin, but he's not driving. It's a path set by a CEO with an unusual CV.
So I did competitive robotics starting when I was 11, and I took it very, very seriously. To give you a sense, I won the Robotics World Championships for the first time when I was 13. Did the world 7 times to the ages of 13 and 20-ish. I eventually founded a team, did a lot of work at a very high competitive level.
This was a prototype of sorts, from which he has built his multi-million-dollar company.
Hadn't built a robot in a while, wanted to get back to it, and felt that this was by far the most exciting piece of robotics technology that was up and coming. A lot of people thought we wouldn't be able to build it, but knew roughly the techniques that you would use. I was pretty confident that if you put them together, you would get something that worked. Took the summer off, built in my parents' garage a golf cart that could drive itself.
That golf cart got the attention of Silicon Valley, the first of several rounds of venture capital. They formed a team and then decided the business opportunity was in self-driving trucks. He says there's also a human benefit.
We could build a truck that's 10 times safer than a human driver. Then not much else actually matters. When we talk to regulator especially, everyone agrees that the only way that we're going to get to zero highway deaths, as everyone's objective, is to use self-driving.
Just trying to slowly down. Dude, that's wrong.
If you want to solve
Oh,
traffic
don't.
single biggest tragedy to happen year after year.
Not
This
to.
is the only solution.
I know what I'm talking about. Don't go. You ain't leaving my sight, dude. You're acting like you are.
Particularly in the ability to see and understand scenes. A lot of people don't know this, but it's remarkably hard for computers until very, very recently to do even the most basic visual tasks, like seeing a picture of a person and knowing that it's a person. And we've made gigantic strides with artificial intelligence in being able to see and understanding tasks, and that's obviously fundamental to being able to understand the world around you with the sensors that we have available.
That's now possible because of the algorithms written by Joshua Bengio and a small group of scientists.
There are many aspects of the world which we can't explain with words. And that part of our knowledge is actually probably the majority. But like the stuff we can communicate verbally is the tip of the iceberg. And so to get at the bottom of the iceberg, the solution was computers have to acquire knowledge by themselves from data, from examples, just like children learn. Those not from their teachers, but from interacting with the world, being around, and trying things and seeing what works and what doesn't work.
This is an early demonstration. In 2013, DeepMind scientists set a machine learning program on the Atari video game Breakdown. The computer was only told the goal to win the game. After 100 games, it learned to use the bat at the bottom to hit the ball and break the bricks at the top. After 300, it could do that better than a human player. After 500 games, it came up with a creative way to win the game by digging a tunnel on the side and sending the ball around the top to break many bricks with one hit. That was deep learning.
AI program based on learning really has been so successful in the last few years because it wasn't clear 10 years ago that it would work, but it has completely changed the map and now includes almost every sector of society. Even the best and brightest among us
And
don't have
some
enough power
there's
inside of our heads.
Amy Webb is a professor at NYU and founder of the Future Today Institute.
As AI progresses, the great promise is that these machines, alongside of us, are able to think and imagine and see things in ways that we never have before. Which means that maybe we have some kind of new, weird, seemingly implausible solution to climate change. Maybe we have some radically different approach to dealing with incurable cancers. The real practical and wonderful promise is that machines help us be more creative. And using that creativity, we get to terrific solutions.
Solutions that could come unexpectedly to urgent problems.
It's going to change the face of breast cancer. Right now, 40,000 women in the U.S. alone die from breast cancer every single year.
Dr. Connie Lehman is head of the Breast Imaging Center at Massachusetts General Hospital in Boston.
We've become so complacent about it. We almost don't think it can really change. We somehow think we should put all of our energy into chemotherapies to save women with metastatic breast cancer. And yet, when we find it early, we cure it. And we cure it without having the ravages to the body when we diagnose it late. This shows suppression of a small spot of one of the energy blocks and the diagnosis of it.
This is what happened when a woman who had been diagnosed with breast cancer started to ask questions about why it couldn't have been diagnosed earlier.
Really brings a lot of anxiety and asking the questions about am I going to survive it, what's going to happen to my son, and really instead asking other questions.
She was used to asking questions. At MIT's Artificial Intelligence Lab, Professor Regina Barzilay uses deep learning to teach the computer to understand language, as well as read text and data.
I was really surprised at the very basic question that I asked my physicians, which were really excellent clinicians that I engaged. They couldn't give me answers that they followed.
She was convinced that if you analyze enough data, from mammograms to diagnostic notes, the computer could predict early-stage conditions.
If we fast forward from 2012 to 2014, we then see when Regina was diagnosed because of this.
Regina and Connie began the slow process of getting access to thousands of mammograms and records from NPH's breast imaging program.
So our first foray was just to take all of the patients we had in that change. Which is inherently limited by our cognitive capacity and how much we can see. And remember that providing machine with a lot of data will make it learn with prediction. So we are using technology not only to be better at assessing the breast density, but to get more to the point of what we're trying to predict. Does this woman have a cancer now? And will she develop a cancer in 5 years? And that's again where the artificial intelligence machine learning can really help us and our patients.
In the age of AI, the algorithms are transporting us into a universe of vast potential, transforming almost every aspect of human endeavor and experience. Andrew McAfee is a research scientist at MIT who co-authored The Second Machine Age.
The great compliment that a songwriter gives another one is, gosh, I wish I'd written that one. The great compliment a geek gives another one is, wow, I wish I had drawn that graph. So I wish I had drawn this graph.
The graph uses a formula to show human development and growth since 2000 BCE.
The state of human civilization is not very advanced, and it's not getting better very quickly at all. And this is true for thousands and thousands of years. When we formed empires and empires got overturned, when we tried democracy, when we invented zero and mathematics and fundamental discoveries about the universe, big deal. The numbers don't change very much. What's weird is that the numbers change essentially in the blink of an eye at one point in time. And it goes from really horizontal, unchanging, uninteresting to holy Toledo, crazy vertical. And then the question is, what on earth happened to cause that change? And the answer is the Industrial Revolution. There were other things that happened, but really what fundamentally happened is we overcame the limitations of our muscle power. Something equally interesting is happening right now. We are overcoming the limitations of our minds. We're not getting rid of them, we're not making them unnecessary, but holy cow, can we leverage them and amplify them now? You have to be a huge pessimist not to find that profoundly tremendous. I really do think the world has entered a new era. Artificial intelligence holds so much promise, but it's going to reshape every aspect of the economy, so many aspects of our lives. Because we're like electricity. Everybody's using it. Every company is going to be incorporating AI, integrating it into what they do. Governments are going to be using it. Nonprofit organizations are going to be using it. It's going to create all kinds of benefits in ways large and small, and challenges for us as well.
The challenges, the benefits. The autonomous truck. The engineers are confident. When they get it working safely sooner than most people do.
Be able to operate on the limited side of moving freight. You see that expanding to more freight, more geographies, more weather over time. And the capability goes up. We're talking less than half a decade.
He already has a Fortune 500 company as a client, shipping appliances across the He says the sales pitch is straightforward.
They spend hundreds of millions of dollars a year shipping parts around the country. We can bring that cost in half. And we're really excited to be able to share this with us, both because of the potential savings from deploying self-driving, and also because of all the operational efficiencies. The biggest one being able to operate 24 hours a day. So right now, human drivers are limited to 11 hours by federal law, and a driverless truck obviously wouldn't have that limitation.
The idea of a driverless truck comes up often in discussions about artificial intelligence. Steve Vaselli is a sociologist who drove a truck while researching his book, The Big Rig.
So guys, that's why I'm being so quiet. I'm just kind of trying to be silent. I don't know why. This cat, dude. Things good, get out. Bro, you're not getting out whiskers. Not really, no, dude. Too cute, sorry. Well, I swear,
It's an important part of the automation system.
you freaking trying.
Of automation. We've had 4 decades of rising inequality in wages. If anybody's going to take advantage of automation in the construction industry, the first in line is going to be the driver without a doubt.
For his research, Vasily tracked down truckers and their families like Sean and Hope Tumbley of Beaverton, Michigan.
Hey, Hope. Hey, Vasily.
And their son Charlie. But Daddy's not here. Sean Tumbley's truck has broken down in Tennessee. Hope, who drove the truck herself, knows the business well.
We made $150,000 right per year. That sounds great, right? That's great. We paid $100,000 in fuel. So right here, now I made $50,000. But I didn't really because, we did oil changes and all that. We still had fuel here. But we had another fuel $13,000. Right? I know. I mean, I choked up a little just thinking about it because it was $13,000 and we were off work for 2 weeks. So by the end of the year, with that $150,000, by the end of the year, we were home.
At a truck stop in Tennessee, Sean has been sidelined waiting for a new truck. The garage owner is letting him stay in the truck to save money.
I mean, it's going. Tell you what. I tell you what. Believe it or not, I do it because I love it.
Hey, that was pretty good.
Third generation dollar. My grandmother
Was
told me a long time
the
ago when I was probably 11, 12 years old.
just a minute you were capping,
He said the world needs nobody.
then I'll let you go.
Nobody. He said if you want it, you
Okay, you're not mainly capping,
and that's what I did.
so I'm not letting you go.
I live by that creed and I live by that.
Stupid.
It's nice of me that doesn't include field trip in school. My son and I just went to our yearly doctor's visit. I took money out of my son's paycheck to pay for it because it's not something new. It's not something that we can, afford. I mean, so kind of. I asked him once, about self-driving. There's no way will they ever have a truck that can drive itself.
It's kind of interesting when you think about it. They're putting all this new technology in it.
What the hell? Roll for this time more.
I really don't see it being a problem with the industry because one, you still got to have a driver in it because I don't see it doing cities. I don't see it doing, maintain. I don't see it backing into a dock. I don't see the automation part, doing maybe the box fan side, I can see that, but not stuff like that.
How near the future?
Yeah, self-driving. So some companies are already operating. Embark, for instance, is one that has been doing driverless trucks on the interstate and what's called exit-to-exit self-driving. And they're currently running real freight. Yeah,
Real freight without fake freight.
It has become harder and harder for veteran
Imagine
drivers
that.
like the companies to make a living. They've been replaced by younger, less experienced drivers.
So the trucking industry is $740 billion
So
a
this
year.
should be my room.
And in these operations, labor is a third of that cost.
Right here.
By my estimate, I think we're in the range of 300,000 or so jobs in the foreseeable future that could be automated to some significant extent.
My favorite color is white.
The AI future was built with great optimism out here in the West. In 2018, many of the people who invented it gathered in San Francisco to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the
I like
industry
it.
magazine.
Howdy, welcome to Water 25.
It is a celebration for sure, but there's also a growing sense of caution and even skepticism.
That's a really good weekend here.
Nick Thompson is editor-in-chief of Wired.
When it started, it was very much magazine about what's coming and why you should be excited about it. Optimism was the defining feature of Wired for many, many years. Or our slogan used to be, change is good. And over time, it shifted a little bit. And now it's more, we love technology. But let's look at some of the big issues and let's look at some of the, let's look at the way algorithms
Less artificial ones.
So the whole nature of Wired has gone from a champion of technological change to more of a observer.
Named as icons of the last 25 years of technological progress. Joni Ive, who designed Apple's iPhone.
Bizarre. There's this question of like, what are we doing here in this life in this reality?
Jaron Lanier, who pioneered virtual reality. And Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon.
Amazon was a garage startup, now it's a very large company.
His message is, all will be well in the new world.
Because first of all, I remain incredibly optimistic about technology. And technology is always hard to cite, but that's not new. That's always been the case. And we will figure it out. The last thing we ever want to do is stop the progress of new technologies, even when they are dual use.
But, says Thompson, beneath the surface, there's a worry most of them don't like to talk about.
There are some people in Silicon Valley who believe that you just have to trust the technology. Throughout history, there's been a complicated relationship between humans and machines, always worried about machines, always been fine. And we don't know how AI will change labor force, but it will be okay. That argument exists. There's another argument, which is what I think most of them believe deep down, which is this is different. We're going to have labor force disruption like we've never seen before. And if that happens, we'll take the White House.
There is, however, one of the Wired 25 icons willing to take on the issue. On stage, Kai-Fu Lee dispenses with one common fear.
Well, I think there's so many myths out there. I think one myth is that because AI is so good at a single task, that one day we'll wake up and we'll all be enslaved or forced to plug our brains to the AI. But it is nowhere close to displacing humans.
But in the interviews around the event and beyond, he takes a decidedly contrarian position on AI and job loss.
The AI giants want to paint a rosier picture because they're happily making money. So I think they prefer not to talk about the negative side. I believe about 50% of jobs will be somewhat or extremely threatened by AI in the next 15 years or so.
Kai-Fu Lee also makes a great deal of money from AI. What separates him from most of his colleagues is that he's frank about its downside.
Yes, we've made about 40 investments in AI. I think based on these 40 investments, most of them are not impacting human jobs. They're creating value, high margins, inventing a new model. But I could list 7 or 8 that would lead to a very clear displacement of human jobs.
He says that AI is coming, whether we like it or not, and he wants to warn society about what he sees as inevitable.
You have a view which I think is different than many others, which is that AI is not going to take blue-collar jobs so quickly, but is actually going to take the white-collar jobs.
Well, both will happen. AI will be, at the same time, a replacement for blue-collar, white-collar jobs, and be a great symbiotic doctors, lawyers, and you, for example. But the white-collar jobs are easier to pick because they're a pure quantitative analytical process. Let's say reporters, traders, telemarketing, telesales, customer service, analysts, yes, these can all be replaced just by a software. To do blue collar, some of the work requires hand coordination, things that machines are not yet good enough to do.
Today, there are many people who are bringing the alarm. Oh my God, what are we going to do? Half the job is gone. I believe that's true. But here's the missing factor. I've done research on this, and if you go back 20, 30, or 40 years, you will find that 50% of the jobs that people perform back then are gone today. You're over telephone operators, bowling pin setters, elevator operators. They used to have seas of secretaries, corporations, now the travel agents. You just go to feel that, feel that, feel. That same pattern has occurred many times throughout history, each new wave of automation.
But I would argue that history is only trustable if it is multiple repetitions of similar events, not once in a blue moon occurrence. So, over the history of many tech inventions, most are small things. Only maybe three are that magnitude of AI revolution. The steam engine, electricity, and the computer revolution. I'd say everything else is too small. And the reason I think it might be something brand new is that AI is fundamentally replacing our cognitive process in doing a job in its significant entirety and can do it dramatically better.
This argument about job loss in the age of AI was ignited 6 years ago amid the gargoyles and spires of Oxford University. Two researchers had been pouring through U.S. labor statistics, identifying jobs that could be vulnerable to AI automation.
Well, vulnerable to automation in the context that we discussed 5 years ago now essentially meant that those jobs are potentially automatable over an unspecified number of years. And the figure we came up with was 47%.
47%. That number quickly traveled the world in headlines and news bulletins. But authors Carl Frey and Michael Osborne offered a caution. They can't predict how many jobs will be lost or how quickly. But Frey believes that there are lessons in history.
And what worries me the most is that there was actually one episode that is quite familiar to today, which is the British Industrial Revolution, where wages didn't grow for 9 decades, and a lot of people actually saw living standards decline and quality very quickly.
Saginaw, Michigan knows about decline in living standards. Harry Cripps, an auto worker and a local union president, has witnessed what 40 years of automation can do to a town.
We're one of the cities in the country, I think we were recognized as recovered. I don't know how we get out of bed when we know.
Once this was the UAW hall for one local union. Now, with falling membership, is shared by 5 locals. This day is the center for a Christmas food drive. Even in a growth economy, unemployment here is near 6%. Poverty in Saginaw is over 30%.
Our factory has about 1.9 million square feet. Back in the 70s, that 1.9 million square feet had about 7,500 UAW automotive workers making middle-class wage with decent benefits and able to send their kids to college and do all the things that middle-class families should be able to do. Our factory today, with automation, it would probably be about 700 United Auto Workers. That's a dramatic change. The Union Brothers used to work there, but TRW plant, Fort Delphi, looks like it's tearing down now. Wow. Automation is
definitely taking away a lot of jobs. Robots, I don't know how they buy cars. I don't know how they buy sandwiches. I don't know how they go to the grocery store. They definitely don't pay taxes for certain infrastructure. So you don't have the sheriffs and police and firemen and anybody else that supports the city. The average personal income in Saginaw is $16,000.
A lot of the families that I work with in the community, both parents are working. They're working 2 jobs. Mainly it's the wages. They're not making a decent wage to be able to support a family. Like back in the day, my dad even worked in the plant. My mom stayed home, raised the children, and that gave us opportunity to put food on the table and things of that nature. And them times are gone.
If you look at this graph of what's been happening to America since the end of World War II, you see a line for our productivity, and our productivity gets better over time. It used to be the case that our income would increase in lockstep with those productivity increases. The weird part about this graph is how the income has decoupled. It's not going up the same way that productivity is anymore.
As automation has taken over, workers are either laid off or left with less skilled jobs for less pay, while productivity goes up.
There's still plenty of factories in America. We are a manufacturing powerhouse. If you go walk around an American factory, you do not see long lines of people doing repetitive manual labor. You see a whole lot of automation. If you go upstairs in that factory, look at the payroll department, you see 1 or 2 people looking at your screen all day. So the activity is still there, but the number of jobs is very, very low because of automation and tech progress. Now, dealing with that challenge and figuring out what the next generation of the American middle class should be doing is a really important challenge, because I'm pretty confident that we are never again going to have this large, stable, prosperous middle class doing routine work.
Evidence of how AI is likely to bring accelerated change to the U.S. workforce can be found not far from Saginaw. This is the U.S. headquarters for one of the world's largest builders of industrial robots, a Japanese-owned company called Fanuc Robotics.
We've been producing robots for well over 35 years, and you can imagine over the years they've changed quite a bit. But we're utilizing the artificial intelligence to really make the robots easier to use and be able to handle a broader spectrum of opportunities. We see a huge growth potential in robotics, and we see that growth potential as being really there's 90% of the market left.
The industry says optimistically that with that growth, they can create more jobs.
Even if there were 5 people on a job, and we reduce that down to 2 people because we automated some level of it, we might produce 2 times more parts than we did before because we automated it. So now there might be the need for 2 more fork truck drivers or 2 more quality inspection personnel. So although we reduce some of the people, we grow in other areas as we produce more things.
Increase productivity, automation, jobs. Jobs go away. I don't care what the robot manufacturers say. Or I'm replacing those 10 production people with that robot is now doing their job. With them, increase productivity to a level to stay competitive with the global market. That's what they're trying to do.
In the popular telling, blame for widespread job loss has been aimed overseas at what's called offshoring.
We want to keep our factories here. We want to keep our manufacturing here. We don't want to move it to China, to Mexico, to Japan, to India, to Vietnam.
But it turns out most of the job loss isn't because of offshoring.
There's been offshoring, and I think offshoring is responsible for maybe 20% of the jobs would have been lost. I would say most of the jobs would have been lost, despite what most Americans think is due to automation or productivity growth.
Mike Hicks is an economist at Ball State University in Muncie, Indiana. He and sociologist Emily Warnell have been documenting employment trends in Middle America. Hicks says that automation has been a mostly silent job killer,
So guys,
lowering the
this
standard of living.
So in the last 15 years,
this is me.
So that's unusual in a developed world. A 1-year decline is a recession. A 15-year decline
And thank
gives an
you.
entirely different
Have
sense
mad
about the prospects of the community.
Roblox.
And so that is common from the Canadian
Please don't
border
interrupt
to
me at that
the
moment.
Gulf of Mexico and the middle swath of the United States.
Something we're gonna do for you guys. These were
So if you do,
leftover
you're
from our
not gonna like
drive
to.
we did. Pretty good stuff. That's gonna go a long way, right? That'll really help them.
Yeah, well, with the kids home from school, the families have 3 meals a day that they gotta put on the table, so it's gonna make a big difference. So, thank you guys, this is wonderful.
Let them know Merry Christmas on behalf of us here at the local business.
Absolutely, you guys are just amazing. Thank you. And please tell all the workers how grateful these families will be. I mean, this is not a small problem. The need is so great. And I can tell you that it's all races, it's all income classes that you might think someone might be from, but I can tell you that when you see it and you deliver this type of gift to somebody who is in need, just the gratitude that they show you is incredible. We actually know that people are at greater risk of mortality for over 20 years after they lose their job due to no fault of their own, something like automation or hospital. They're at higher risk for cardiovascular disease, they're at higher risk for depression and suicide. But then with the intergenerational impacts, we also see your children are more likely, children of parents who have lost their job due to automation are more likely to repeat grade, they're more likely to drop out of school, they're more likely to be suspended from school, and they have lower educational attainment over their entire lifetimes.
Dang, that's really dumb.
Because I think we're in the early decades of what is a multi-decade adjustment phase.
The world is being reimagined. This is a supermarket. Robots guided by AI pack everything from soap powder to cantaloupe for online consumers.
I hate Trinity. I'm not live. I would never live there.
Machines that can also read reports, learn routines, and comprehend, but reaching deep into factories, stores, and offices. At a college in Goshen, Indiana, a group of local business and political leaders come together to try to understand the impact of AI and the new machines. Molly Kinder studies the future of work at a Washington think tank.
How many people have gone into a fast food restaurant and done a self-order? Anyone? Panera, for instance, being, cashier was my first
Wall Street's going through it, but every industry is going through it. Every company is looking at all of the disruptive technologies. Could be robotics or drones or blockchain, whatever it is. Every company is using everything that's developed, everything that's disrupted, and thinking about how do I apply that to my business to make myself more efficient. And what efficiency means is mostly how do I do this with fewer workers. And I do think that when you look at some of the studies about opportunity in this country and equality of opportunity, the likelihood that you won't be able to advance the way your parents were, I think that is very serious and gets to the heart of the way we like to think of America as the land of opportunity.
Inequality has been rising in America. It used to be the top 1% of earners, here in red, owned a relatively small portion of the country's wealth. Middle and lower earners, in blue, have the largest share. Then, 15 years ago, the lines crossed, and inequality has been increasing ever since.
There's many factors that drive inequality today. And unfortunately, artificial intelligence, without being thoughtful about it, is a driver for increased inequality. Because it's a form of automation. And automation is the substitution of capital for labor. And when you do that, the people with the capital win. So Karl Marx was right. It's a struggle between capital and labor. And with artificial intelligence, we're putting our finger on the scale on the side of capital and how we wish to distribute the benefits, the economic benefits that that will create. It's going to be a major moral consideration for society over the next several decades.
This is really an outgrowth of increasing the gaps of haves and have-nots. The wealthy get the wealthier, the poor get the poorer. It may not be specifically related to AI, but as the AI will exacerbate that. And that, I think, will tear the society apart because the rich will have just as much as those who are not will have perhaps very little way of making themselves out. And with the AI making its impact, it will be worse.
I think that some was a protest, and whatever reason, whatever the hot button was that he, sitting at home, there was a protest vote. They didn't like the direction things were going. I'm scared. I'm going to be quite honest with you. I worry about the future, not just this country, but the world. If we continue to go to an automated system, what are we going to do? Now I've got a group of people at the top that are making all the money, and I don't have anybody in the middle that can support a family. So we have to go to the point where we crash, come back, and in this case, the automations are going to be there. So I don't know. I'm really worried about where this leads. The future is largely being shaped by a few hugely successful tech companies. They're constantly buying up successful smaller companies and recruiting talent. Between the U.S. and China, they employ a great majority of the leading AI researchers and scientists. Of course, in amassing such power, they've also become among the richest companies in the world.
AI really is the ultimate tool of wealth creation. Think about the massive data that Facebook has on user preferences and how it can very smartly target an ad that you might buy something and get a much bigger cut that a smaller company Same with Google, same with Amazon. So it's AI is a set of tools that helps you maximize an objective function. And that objective function initially will simply be make more money.
And it is how these companies make that money and how their algorithms reach deeper and deeper into our work, our daily lives, and our democracy that makes many people increasingly uncomfortable. Pedro Dominguez wrote the book The Master Algorithm.
Everywhere you go, you generate a pile of data, crazy data, everything that you do is producing data. And then there are computers looking at that data. There are learning. And these computers are essentially trying to save your data. They're trying to personalize the world to you. They're trying to adapt the world to you. So on the one hand, this is great because the world will get adapted to you without you even having to exclusively adapt it. There's also a danger because the entities and the companies that are in control of those algorithms don't necessarily have the same goals as you. And this is why I think people need to be aware that what's going on, so they can have more control of it.
You know, we came into this new world thinking that we were users of social media. It didn't occur to us that social media was actually using us. We thought that we were searching Google. We had no idea that Google was searching us.
Shoshana Zuboff is a Harvard Business School professor emeritus. In 1988, she wrote a definitive book called In the Age of the Smart Machine. For the last 7 years, she has worked on a new book, making the case that we have now entered a new phase in the economy, which she calls surveillance capitalism.
So famously, industrial capitalism claimed nature, innocent rivers and meadows and forests and so forth, for the market dynamics to purchase. Industrial capitalism claimed worth for the market dynamics. We became worthless and people sold and purchased. Now here comes surveillance capitalism, following this pattern that will take dark and startling. What surveillance capitalism claims is private human experience. Every human experience is claimed as a free source of raw material fabricated into predictions of human behavior. And it turns out that there are a lot of businesses that really want to know what we will do now, soon, and later.
Like most people, Alistair McTaggart had no idea about those systems until one evening in 2015.
He had a conversation with a fellow who's an engineer, and just talking one night at dinner, talking about it. And there was something in the press that day about privacy in the paper. I remember asking him, he works at Google, what's the big deal? So what's up about it? And I thought it was going to be one of those conversations like with, if you ever ask an airline pilot, so you're worried about flying, and they say, oh, what day is part of coming to the airport in the car. And he said, oh, you'd be horrified to know how much he knew about you. And I remember that kind of stuck in my head because it was not what I expected.
That question would change his life. A successful California real estate developer, McTaggart began researching the new business model.
What I've learned since is that their entire business is learning as much about you as they can. Everything about your thoughts and your desires and your dreams, and trying to learn what your people with private thoughts are. And with that, that's too powerful. And so I think I didn't know that at the time. The data of your life.
Zuboff had been doing her own research.
Reading patents, transcripts, laws, research reports, and this literally
Her studies included the early days of Google, started in 1998 by two young Stanford grad students, Sergey Brin and Larry Page. In the beginning, they had no clear business model. Their unofficial motto was, don't be evil.
right from the start, the founders advertising would distort the internet, and it would distort and disfigure the purity of any search engine.
Love with e-commerce, Wall Street had 30 back on the .com.
Then came the dot-com crash of the early 2000s.
Hundreds of unprofitable
Alright, I've really done $1, but I'm gonna go ahead and try it.
Their investors were pressuring them to make more money. Without a new business model, founders knew that the young company was in danger.
In the state of emergency, the founders decided they simply got their bosses. And so, parallel to this, were another set of discoveries where it turns out that whenever we search, whenever we browse, we're leaving behind traces, digital traces of our behavior. And those traces, back in these days, were called digital exhaust.
They realized how valuable this data could be by applying machine learning algorithms to predict users' interests.
What happened was they decided to turn to those data logs in a systematic way and to begin to use these surplus data as a way to come up with fine-grained predictions of what a user will click on, what kind of ad a user will click on. And inside Google, they started seeing kind of the startling thing. They realized that they didn't want anyone to know how much money they were making or how they were making it. Because users had no idea that these extra behavioral data that told so much about them, it was just out there, and now it was being used to predict their future.
When Google's IPO took place just a few years later, the company had a market capitalization of around $23 billion. Google's stock was now as valuable as General Motors.
And it's at that point that we learned that between the year 2000 and the year 2004, Google's revenue line increased by 3,590%.
Let's talk a little bit about information search and helping with the student.
By 2010, CEO of Google, R.I.P, would tell the Atlantic magazine,
You don't need to type at all. With your permission. With your permission. You can more or less guess what you're talking about. Now, is that a little lie?
Eric Schmidt of Google decided to be interviewed for this program.
It's literally 3 a.m.
Particularly Facebook. Roger McNamee was an early investor and advisor to Facebook. He's now a critic and wrote a book about the company. He says he's concerned about how widely companies like Facebook and Google have been casting the net for data.
And then they realized, wait a minute, there's all this data in the economy we don't have. So they went to credit card processors, credit rating services, said, we want to buy your data. They go to health and wellness apps and say, hey, you got women's menstrual cycle, and all that stuff. They're doing that because behavioral prediction is about making uncertainty. Okay? As a person, you want to know about uncertainty. You never really know who's going to cut your credit. Until now, we have to recognize that strategic place in our lives, it had essentially
every sliver of information is valuable.
It's not just what you post, it's that you post. It's not just that you make plans to see your friends later. It's whether you say, I'll see you later, or I'll see you at 6:45. It's not just that you talk about the things that you have to do now. It's whether you simply rattle them on in a rambling paragraph or listen to bullet points. All of these tiny signals are the behavioral surplus that turns out to have immense predictive value.
In 2010, Facebook experimented with AI's predictive powers in what they called a social contagion experiment. They wanted to see if, through online messaging, they could influence real-world behavior. The aim was to get more people to the polls in the 2010 midterm elections. They offered 61 million users an unvoted button, together with faces of friends who had voted. A subset of users received just the button. In the end, they claimed to have nudged 340,000 people to vote. They would conduct other massive engagement experiments, among them one showing that by adjusting their foods, they could make users happy or sad.
Actually, I got most people. One was, oh my goodness, now we know that we can use cues in the online environment to change real world behavior. That's big news. The second thing that they understood and they celebrated was that we can do this in a way that bypasses the user's voice.
Private corporations have built a corporate surveillance state without our awareness or permission. And the systems necessary to make it work are getting a lot better, specifically with what are known as Internet of Things, smart appliances, powered by the Alexa voice recognition system or the Google Home system.
Play morning playlist.
Okay, play morning playlist.
Okay, Google, play music in all rooms.
And those will put the surveillance in places we've never had it before. Living rooms, kitchens, bedrooms. And, I find all that terrifying.
Okay, Google, I'm listening.
The companies say they are not using the data to target ads, but helping AI improve the user experience.
Alexa, turn on the fan.
Okay,
Meanwhile, they are researching and applying for patents to expand their reach into homes and lives.
Alexa, play the video.
more and more we use spoken interfaces, so smart speakers. They're being trained not just to recognize who you are, but they're starting to take baselines and comparing changes over time. So, does your cadence increase or decrease? Are you sneezing while you're talking? Is your voice a little wobbly? The purpose of doing this is to understand more about you in real time, so that the system can make inferences. Perhaps like, do you have a cold? Are you in a manic phase? Are you feeling depressed? So that is an extraordinary amount of information that can be gleaned by you simply waking up and asking your smart speaker, what's the weather today?
Alexa, what's the weather for tonight? In Pasadena, it's 58 degrees with cloudy skies. Inside it is then. Dinner.
The point is that this is the same micro behavioral targeting that is directed toward individuals based on intimate, detailed understanding of personalities. So this is precisely what Cambridge Analytica did. Simply pivoting from the advertisers to the political outcomes.
The Cambridge Analytica scandal of 2018 engulfed Facebook, forcing Mark Zuckerberg to appear before Congress. explain how the data of up to 87 million Facebook users had been harvested by a political consulting company based in the UK. The purpose was to target and manipulate voters in the 2016 presidential campaign, as well as the Brexit referendum.
And now we know that any billionaire with enough money who can buy the data, buy the machine intelligence capabilities, buy the skilled data scientists, they too can commandeer the public and infect, infiltrate, and democracy with the same methodologies that surveillance capitalism uses every single day.
We didn't take a broad enough view of our responsibility, and that was a big mistake. And it was my mistake. And I'm sorry.
Zuckerberg has apologized for numerous violations of privacy, and his company was recently fined $5 billion by the Federal Trade Commission. He has said Facebook will now make data protection a priority. The company has suspended tens of thousands of third-party apps from its platform as a result of an internal investigation.
I wish I could say that after Cambridge Analytica we've learned our lesson and that everything will be much better after that, but I'm afraid not all of it is true. In some ways, Cambridge Analytica is using tools that were 10 years old. It's really, in some ways, old school first wave data science. What we're looking at now with current tools in machine learning is the ability to have manipulation, both in terms of elections and opinions, but more broadly, just how information travels. That is a much bigger problem and certainly much more serious than
AI pioneer Joshua Bengio also has concerns about how his algorithms are being used.
So the AIs are tools, and they will serve the people who control those tools. If those people's interests go against the values of democracy, then democracy is in danger. So I believe that scientists who contribute to science, when that science can or will have an impact on society, those scientists have a responsibility. It's a little bit like the physicist of around the Second World War who rose up to tell the governments, wait, nuclear power can be dangerous and nuclear war can be really, really destructive. And today, the equivalent of a physicist of the 40s and 50s and 60s are the computer scientists who are doing machine learning and AI.
One person who wanted to do something about the dangers was not a computer scientist, but an ordinary citizen. Alistair McTaggart was alarmed.
Voting is for me the most alarming one. If less than 100,000 votes separated the last candidates in the last presidential election, in 3 states.
He began a solitary campaign.
You're talking about convincing a relatively tiny fraction of the voters in a handful of states either come out and vote or stay home. And remember, these companies know everybody intimately. They know who's a racist, who's a misogynist, who's a homophobe, who's a conspiracy theorist. They know the lazy people and the gullible people. They have access to the greatest trove of personal information that's ever been assembled. They have the world's best data scientists. And they have essentially a frictionless way of communicating with you. Power.
McTaggart started a signature drive for a California ballot initiative for a law to give consumers control of their digital data. In all, he would spend $4 million of his own money in an effort to rein in the Goliath
done.
Google,
So
Facebook,
guys, that'll be it for today's video. Don't forget to drop a like, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Share this video with your friends and family. And guys, I'll see you in the next one. And well, bye.